What up guys, Drewfoo here. So I'm doing my first story time and it's about how I had surgery. So it was around maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years. I really don't remember. But basically to get started off, I used to play for a school named Warren High School, and they were having a lineman competition the day of when I first went into the hospital. And I never really went to the hospital for anything other than breaking a bone or popping a bone at a socket or any other reason like that. I never really had surgery ever before, but this is my first time having surgery. So the day of the tournament in the morning, my parents asked me if I wanted to go. I told them no, I wasn't feeling well. If I could stay home, they said yes. So I stayed home, and later on in the day, like maybe an hour later or so, my stomach really started to irritate me. Like I felt as if I was getting stabbed or something like that. I've never been stabbed before, but that's what it felt like. And I called my mom, and I always call her when I don't feel well because she thought I was faking, but I wasn't. So I hang up and I'm like, all right, I could deal with it, I guess. And then I get up to go get something to drink, and I really feel it when I stood up. Like I don't know what happened. So I lay back down and it just hurts, and I fall to the floor, and I see my phone and I grab my phone, and I knew I couldn't call my mom. I called my dad. My mom comes, and then she thinks, oh, this is serious, I need to get my son to the hospital. She helps me into the car. Then we're on our way to the hospital, and it's, oh my gosh, it's always a long line whenever we go to the ER, and it was just a horrible time, and I was in bad pain, but we got through it. I personally hate the hospital, but you know, you gotta deal with it, and there's nothing I could do. So when we first got in, it took around an hour for me to get to the back for them to check me, and then they told me that I was gonna need surgery, which I was shocked because it was a stomach ache. I never thought a stomach ache could wind up to be that much trouble, but it did, and it turned out I had appendicitis, so I had to get surgery as soon as possible, or it could have put me in way more danger than I was in at the very beginning. So my dad ends up showing up to the hospital, or ER should I say, with me and my mom, and at that point I'm no longer like in tears, I'm no longer acting like a little baby, and we've been waiting for the ER or the transport, whatever you want to call it, to come and pick me up so I can get taken to the hospital where I'm gonna have surgery. And we've been waiting forever, so my dad goes and complains. He does nothing, but he complains. So around an hour after that, the ER comes, and my mom rides with me because she works at this medical group where she knows a lot of ER companies and all these things, so that really helped out. And once we got to the hospital, a doctor came in and told me what's gonna happen and when's my surgery gonna be, so that reassured me a lot. But then the next day, it was my surgery day, so we went into surgery like 6 in the morning, so early, and I wasn't even awake yet. So we go into the room, and when they tell you, when they put on that mask that puts you to sleep, it puts you to sleep. It wasn't even like 3 seconds and I was out. So the next morning, the pain was 10,000 times worse, and the doctor just walks in like maybe half an hour after I wake up and tells me I need to get up and I need to move. To me, it's like, if the pain's 10,000 times worse and I could barely walk yesterday, how do you expect me to walk today? So most of the time I just walked back and forth around the room. I usually just got up and used the restroom. I didn't do as much as I should. I probably would have got out faster if I did, but it was fine. It was good. The most of the time I started walking was when my family came and visited. I walked down to the cafeteria. Well, I didn't really walk down to it. They took me on a wheelchair, and I walked a little bit. After that, I just had to stay there till I was done, and my mom stayed there with me all the way through it. She slept there and everything, but occasionally she slept in the same bed as me, and it wasn't a big bed, it was a small bed, and I still wasn't fully recovered, and just turning hurt my stomach. So just imagine sleeping in a small bed with 2 people, and it wasn't that comfortable, but I love my mom. She's the best person in the whole entire world to me, and it was just, I was glad she was there to help me. But it would have been nicer to have a bigger bed or a bed to myself. Later on, I just got released, and my dad brought me a big old cane, like as if I was crossing the whole entire world with this cane. It was a wooden cane. It was almost half my size, and it was crazy. And that's it, guys, and I'm glad you guys listened. Leave a like, try to get 10 likes on this video. Let's get it.